It's time for another Nisham guide. And this time it's gonna be about Amphis. I love those guys, they are so dorky. So I would argue that Amphis are the best early game mount, the best mid game mount, and well, I guess not the best late game mount, but that's arguable. Like, they can be gotten really early game, like in the first few hours. If you spawn in a jungle, then even earlier. They are the fastest in going up and down. No other mob is going that fast. Vertically, they are not as fast as a Morok, but faster than a rock, way faster. And the nice thing is that you don't have to click anything, you only have to steer. It's like an Elytra, just without rockets and without falling down. Like, this guy is keeping his height. You see that here? It's minimally ascending right now, the Y value is going up. But yeah, as long as the wings are spread out like this, it's keeping the height pretty well. You have to, you can look down to see what's below you without it losing the height. You can see that. Like, I'm looking down and I'm still ascending. But if I look a bit further down, now the wings aren't spread anymore and we're going down. Same happens with going up. I can keep my height. Can look up. Well, you usually don't look up, but have to go pretty high, like 45 degrees or something. I have to look pretty high that it actually goes up. So that's the useful things. Now people don't use them because they are pretty buggy. One example, I dismount and I'm auto picking shit up. Why? Makes no sense. Also, I can't interact with the chest. Why? Well, the fact is, well, actually I'm gonna show you guys another thing. Yeah, this is gonna end pretty badly. I'm gonna dismount. Oh. You need a jungle with tall trees. And to find that, you can use the cartographer. This cartographer, I already traded him up, has a jungle pathfinder map. Some of them also trade in this slot, in the igloo slot right now, the jungle temple map. So there's two maps that can lead you to a jungle. Let's say I found a jungle. Now I gotta look for Amphis. They usually spawn in packs. Oh, there's already some. See, in multiple packs, and usually when you get there, they are already in the air. You can sometimes find some on the ground, but usually they're already in the air. They kinda evade you. Like, if you get closer, they get farther away. You have to be a bit fast. What is helpful is a water bucket or blocks. I tend to use a water bucket because then I can just use that. What you're gonna need to tame one is a few marker burgers, a saber. I'm getting lucky right now. Now I just have to get this guy. I can use the saber for less damage, even though I don't have attack 4, so this also works in hardcore config where you can't craft the stone saber. You see, I got it, What I do now, because I often lose these guys, I dismount. I directly put this guy on sitting with an empty hand and shift click the guy. Otherwise he's on wandering, which is bad. Want him on sit. Now we want him on follow. And from follow, you just mount the next guy, bam. And he's gonna get attacked by my first Amphi. That means that he will deal less damage to me, more damage to the Amphi. Sometimes they kill each other, usually they don't. Alright, I got it. Now we want to bring these two home to make an Amphi breeding station. For that, first of all, I want some cocoa beans. Don't forget the cocoa beans. Also watch out for the Vespids, they kill Amphis. Alright, we got cocoa beans. So we can make cookies, you need cookies to breed them. Alright, next point is we want one guy on follow and one guy on sit. We want this guy, the following guy, to be not in ground follow but in flight follow. So he shouldn't be grounded but flying. For that you just fly up and directly dismount. Now he's in flight follow. You see how he's like bugging around above me? That's flight follow. From this we just mount the other guy and the first guy is gonna follow us. It doesn't work well when you go over unexplored chunks, like if it takes time to generate the chunks, and you can lose the Amphi. But yeah, you see it works pretty well. You shouldn't land while doing this, you should really fly home and set up a breeder there before you do anything else. You can make this way nicer, but I'm just gonna make a very minimal build. I like to build this Amphi hatch with 2 doors and 2 trapdoors. Because with this, if you open it fully, you can put an Amphi in. Okay, we go in, close the doors, breed the guys. That sometimes doesn't work. We'll see. That seems to work. So yeah, we got a baby and it's directly inside a cart. Alright, we waited 5 minutes and we can breed again. And we got 2 in a boat. Alright, watch out with your boat that it's not on a chunk border. There's a bug that if the boat is the cart is on a chunk border or a boat, then and we are on a chunk border. Right? No, this is a chunk border. You see this is going to 15. So this is a chunk border. On the y-axis we don't have a chunk border, it's going from 6 to 10. Yeah, so we have to watch out that like if we place the cart like this and we leave the area, then one of the Amphis will despawn. That's why we put this here. Easy. Okay, and why do we do this? Well, we could also just keep 2 Amphis at home, but sometimes breeding them doesn't work very well, like they just don't wanna. I heard it helps to put them on wandering, but that also doesn't always work. You just have to try again and again. Sometimes it works to mount them and dismount them. Yeah, you just have to try around if they don't want to breed. But yeah, if they're on the cart, it will always work. Like, these 2 will always breed. Okay, let's go over some bugs with the Amphi. The first and the most difficult one to deal with is the fake dismount. I already showed it in the beginning. If you just dismount, you're usually in a fake sneak state. So the game thinks you're still sneaking. That's why I'm picking up the items and I can't interact with chests. And if I mount the Amphi from that, then weird shit can happen. You see, I just set it to following, as if I was clicking it with an empty hand while shifting. It's kind of buggy. You see, like it's doing some weird shit. And now it's going up to the stratosphere. And if I dismount, either I'm just standing down there, or I will actually be up here. Well, I'm actually up here. That's why I went to game mode 1. That's bad. And well, the Amphi is now in the stratosphere. Sometimes you dismount and you're back down here. Okay, this guy was on follow. If it's not on follow, some other weird shit can happen. Let's try this again. Let's fly around. You see it's buggy, like it's not really flying how it should fly. I'm flying a bit away, and if I dismount, okay, sometimes you go back to where you were. But yeah, now it's going to the stratosphere. It's just going up. If this happens to you, it helps to have a dragon flute. You can craft these just with 2 dragon bones and an iron. Because if you use it, it's just gonna land. If it lands in water, it will just ignore that, so it can drown. But yeah. So how do you deal with this? You have to always sneak twice after dismounting, like shift, 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 shift. I do that pretty fast. Like if I fly here, I do, and I'm already back in normal state. You see it here on the left, the sneak tries. Maybe sometimes even multiple times. And then you never get this bug. Since I sometimes forget that, I also sneak before mounting. Like it just has to be one click. You don't have to hold any time long, like any long time. You just click, mount. So I will always do that after dismounting and before mounting, so then it basically never happens. If it happens, you have still a water bucket to clutch and a dragon bone flute to let them land again. Okay. Next bug. You get auto-dismounted if the Amphi, if you're on an Amphi and you land in water that's higher than, well, that's deeper than 2 blocks. Usually it's gonna fly up now, probably because I used the dragon flute. It instead stayed down there. You have to put it on follow and move away, and then it TPs with you like a wolf. This will be fixed in the next version. Same with the fake dismount thing. You can get pulled off by sirens, so watch out. Fly a bit higher when you're over the ocean. If you get pulled off, the Amphi also goes to the stratosphere usually. You can't mount while doing carry-on. Oops. Like it looks like you can, but we're again in a very weird state. It doesn't let me fly. And if I dismount, oh, this time I'm staying here. Sometimes you also TP back. So yeah, that's wonky behavior. Sometimes it's different. Like, yeah, it doesn't let me fly. Sometimes it works, but then you TP back to where you originally started. What you can do though is, if you really want to transport something on the Amphi, you go on Options, Controls, Carry On, put this on a different control, and then while being mounted, you can grab something, and now you can fly and like do it normally. You can do sky battles with Amphis. It's a bit harder though, because you, like, other than with a rock, you can't really stay at the same spot, and also you have the chance of hitting your Amphi. But you see, if I, like, as long as I don't hit downwards, like if I hit upwards, I can do sky battles, even if I do just horizontal. So yeah, that's it. That's Amphis. I love these fuckers.